In the not-too-distant future, beyond space and doubt, there was a guy named Luigi, a lawyer as it turns out. He clips in the Dabbleverse every day, a regular clipper making his way. He did his job well with an animated face, but when it comes to woo-woo, he thinks, man, what a disgrace. That's fucking bullshit! He'll mock confounded theories, the worst he can find. He'll have to sit and unpack them all, and man, it is such a grind. But keep in mind, he has a goal, a story with an end. That's why he watches all this stuff with the help of his skeptic friends. Skeptic roll call. Looney, Lucy, Tom Servo, check him out. Corndiff. You're wondering how he makes money and other real life facts. Then repeat to yourself, I must be slow. I should really go eat glass. It's Skeptical Robot Theater 3000.
Hello, and welcome to the second episode of Skeptical Robot Theater. A little departure from what we normally do around here. And let me go ahead and bring on my co-hosts. First off, we have, you know him as Looney Tunes Critic, Trevor. What's happening, buddy?
Hey guys, welcome
Thank you
to the
so
show.
much for being here.
We got movie sign.
Yay! All right, this is the invention exchange. You go first.
It's a new thing called a missing diff.
Yes. Mr. Corndiff could not make it tonight. Our thoughts and prayers with Mr. Corndiff.
We hope he's dead.
And also, please welcome the lovely, the talented, the beautiful Cayley. How are you, Miss Cayley?
I'm just thinking about, I'm wonderful, but I'm just thinking about if corn is dead, does that mean that I get to eat it? Because I love eating corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it ends up
I'm going to have so many corn poops. It's going to be great.
That's his name.
Please also introduce that lovely creature that you are holding in your arms right now.
I have Booger with me this evening. He's being an extra baby. He's still a kitten, and he's probably going to be meowing into microphones and enjoying movies with us.
Well, he's adorable. He's welcome. You feel free to riff all you want, Booger.
He'll get mad when he needs to.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's all right.
And Looney Tunes Critic is also holding something, but it's a big butt of weed.
Spoilers.
Well, we really should introduce something.
That would be good.
Like a segment like the Invention Exchange, but I don't know. We'll figure it out in the future. And then we'll edit it in right
There you go.
now.
That was amazing.
Hey, that was so much fun. Hey.
Oh my goodness, I loved it.
I know. Wasn't that invention that I made going to simplify your life and expedite all of your stressors in life?
Not to put the satellite of love before the horse, but shouldn't you maybe play the intro?
Oh, no, I could play that before all this. I don't have to. Now that because we're recording.
Okay. I didn't realize you had a system in place.
I do. I overthink things. Well, let's go ahead and get started, folks. First thing we're going to watch tonight is a little short.
As opposed to a big short.
A film short. A film short public service announcement called The Trouble with Women.
Yeah.
Oh no. This is directed at me, isn't it?
Believe it or not,
singled out, Cayley.
yes, believe it or not, the title is misleading.
A little misleading. That's her name.
Oh, so really it's the trouble with men.
It's
It really isn't.
It's packing quite the feminist message. It really is. I'm not kidding.
McGraw Hill. I don't know. I thought there'd be a joke.
I've been thinking about it.
Reptile skin for the credits. Oh, Betty.
No, Betty, that's wrong. Let me show you again. You use this control to get your focus, you see?
He's
In the
mansplaining.
right-hand corner.
What is she doing?
Lock the suite.
Absorbing radiation for the men, so that the men don't get any.
Now let's try it again.
Well, there's
Half
someone
his
here to see
paycheck.
you.
I'm
Are
proud
you
of
Mr.
her.
Bradshaw?
She's doing a great
Yes.
job.
Mr. Donnelly up in personnel said for me to give you this card.
Thank you, Rosie. The
I'm your
Riveter.
new bearings inspector.
Oh?
Oh.
Oh, well, now, I'll be with you in just a minute. No, one at a time.
I have to handle this
I'll be
dummy
back
over
later to
here.
Go over this with you, Betty. Just in the meantime, do the best you can.
Betty.
Do the
Would
best you
follow me,
can,
please?
or you're fired.
Just have a seat here. I'll be back.
I'll get right here,
shortly.
sweet cheeks.
It
Jesus
sounds more like
Christ.
Chris Hansen.
Yeah, it does.
I'd like you to take a seat.
Well, Mr.
Listen, boss,
Bradshaw,
another
what's
woman
on
got her
your mind?
period. We got to fire her.
Bearings inspector.
This is
She's a
every,
good one,
like,
too. Just look at
upper
that
echelon
record.
office
now,
from every
Walt,
Three
you've had your
Stooges
little
short I've
joke.
ever seen.
Yes,
Give her to
it is.
somebody else. I ask for a man.
I asked for 3 men.
We don't have a man with her qualifications.
Oh.
If you treat her right, she might make you a darn good employee.
What do you mean, treat
It
her
was a
right?
dark time before
Get
he found
that chip
Costello.
off your shoulder. What's wrong
This
with
is
her?
about to turn
She's
into a
woman,
beware of
isn't she?
homosexuals
Oh,
ad.
wait a minute. You got a lot of women
hope
in your
so.
Yeah,
department.
they needed
What's
3
wrong
men
with
for
one
that.
more?
So
Did you ever hear of the
I ordered
straw
3
that
men,
broke
not
the
these
camel's
gross
back?
women.
They're good workers.
Boobies,
Accurate,
ew.
quick to catch mistakes, a lot of patience.
Yeah, but that comes out of
Boobies
the
shouldn't
book.
unionize.
I work with them, mister. I know what happens.
What does happen?
It's a
Have you ever looked at a
long
vagina
story.
head on?
Come on now.
It's
tell me.
disgusting.
What does happen? Maybe I've been misinformed.
It looks
Not
like
so
the
long
Texas
ago, you
Longhorns
sent me
logo.
A girl by the name of Myrtle Malloy. Remember?
I remember.
But which
As
came
per her
first?
qualifications.
Texas
Well,
Longhorns
I
think we
logo
all came
or the
first.
vaginas? It was the
Well,
Texas
in a
Longhorns
matter
logo.
of days, that bench looked more like her dressing table.
What? Wait, can you rewind that?
Yes.
Joe, will you take... Well, in a matter of days,
I'll
that
turn it up a
bench
little, too.
looked more like her
Pump it up.
dressing table.
I just
Then
talked over the
came
part.
day
that you
when-
wanted.
Yeah,
What
there
does
you go.
happen?
One more time.
Maybe I've been
One
misinformed.
more
Not
time.
so long ago, you sent me a girl by the name of Myrtle Malloy.
That's a
Remember?
hot name.
Those names are real?
As per her
Oh,
qualifications,
Myrtle.
I assigned her to an inspection bench. Well, in a matter
pretty
of
hot.
days, that bench looked more like her dressing table.
She was putting her
Then came the
lipstick
day
there.
when-
That bitch.
Joe, will you take your stuff back to table 9? That'll be your bench for the time being. Okay, Chief.
I love that shirt.
Myrtle,
a shirt full of
we're
nipples
moving
on
you
it.
to table number 10.
Is something wrong, Mr. Bradshaw?
No,
Yes, you're a
no,
woman.
nothing's wrong. We just need this space for something else.
Well, I sure hate to give it up. It's been a nice place
That's not
to
what
work.
I hear.
The light's good here, and it's nicely situated right
That's
in the
why
middle
we
of
hired
things.
you.
I just began to feel at home.
Well, I'm sorry, Myrtle, but table 10 will have to be your work area for the time being.
You mean there's liable to be another change?
There's always that possibility.
Well, I
Myrtle
certainly hope I'm
hates
not
change.
moved every other day.
She didn't vote for Obama.
With man, no trouble at all. Tell him what you want and he does it. But with Myrtle,
Myrtle
a little
cried
move
for
is a
3
big
hours.
production.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute.
Okay, I've heard
You
this
asked
one
me, now
before,
let me
but you
tell
tell it better than me.
Now, here's another
This is going to
problem.
end in a pie fight, isn't it?
That'd be fucking awesome.
Oh, Mr. Bradshaw, I wanted to tell you that the date is set for my
I told you,
marriage.
Tom.
I'll be
Jesus
looking-
Christ, who gives a
Marriage.
fuck, lady?
I thought you just got engaged.
Well, I told you about it 6 months ago. We were only waiting till we could find a place to live.
6 months ago. Oh, brother.
It's forever.
Well, how soon are you leaving?
Well, the end of next week.
Well, that'll really put us in a bind around here.
You
it
are
takes time to
quite
break
the
in a release,
slut.
girl.
Yes, I know it does. I wondered.
Why didn't you say something? I didn't realize you were getting married right away.
Well, I'm sorry,
wait, was
Mr.
this
Bradshaw, but
shot-
This
I
was
really
not in the
thought you
newsletter.
knew.
Was
We've
this,
all been talking about
just
it.
for the record, was this shot before
Okay, Brad,
or after
but
the Me Too?
how many
movement?
blushing brides do you have? Besides, what's all this got to do with Dolly, the new girl? She's already married. And she's a qualified...
Don't you
very
dare touch her.
It's
You know what I
hilarious
was
that this,
doing when
this
this new
came
girl
up in
came
like
in a few minutes
meetings.
ago?
No.
I was trying to cope
Dude, it
with
still
one
does.
of the biggest problems of all.
You think she's a third
Now,
input
in
girl?
your books, it comes under the general heading of absenteeism among women employees. Yesterday, I spent an hour and a half.
Her period attracted a
teaching one
bear,
of our
sir.
girls
A
what
bear.
she needs to know in order to start on the oscilloscope today.
It's the
This morning, she isn't here. So I had to use somebody else. I don't think the girl we got on it now ever pick it up. So I'll probably have to find somebody else.
I've always used that as a joke. I know
All
it's
these
it's
things
kind
have
of like
been
an old
talked
urban
about.
legend, but I've never thought about this for
Absenteeism.
even a
personality
second of my
problems.
life. But I have to
Okay.
ask Cayley, have you ever heard that periods attract sharks?
Yeah.
If
they
anyone
do.
knows about shark attacks,
That's
They
what I was.
do.
I know that
Yeah.
Cayley's afraid of sharks. So,
Yeah.
but I've never thought.
that's
I've never
good.
thought of
why
it.
wouldn't it though? That's
But
blood
why
in the
would
water.
exactly? Why wouldn't it? I just thought of it, but I've never heard anyone say, "Hey, don't get in the water if you're on your period because you might attract a shark."
Oh no, they absolutely do. Yeah,
No.
you absolutely. As a woman, you should not go in the ocean when you're on your period.
I guess. You know what? Yeah, I guess I've just never seen it on a billboard.
I guess I've never been around women or.
Maybe that's something you say amongst yourselves. I've just never heard it said out loud to a
And
guy
here's the
who
thing,
doesn't have a
Weege.
period.
Like, you don't know this, Weege, but women are allowed to go to the beach, actually.
Nowadays.
Yeah,
For-
it's not encouraged.
we
until-
still have to wear the full things. You know, we got to cover our wrists and our ankles so that we're not
Yeah.
being whores. But
Giving
you know,
us ideas.
yeah, we're
I
assholes.
recently, and not a joke, last night was editing a video about the history of spiritualism, and they talked about like where women's movements were at the time that spiritualism became a big thing, and they show pictures. They say that even in the Olympics, women had to be dressed in ankle length dresses, and it shows a bunch of archers that wearing
why-
these full length gowns.
That's why I don't have any patience for people who are like still Muslim.
Yeah, I don't
they do
get
all
it.
this. I'm like,
I don't get that.
I don't give a fuck about religion. It's not about that. It's just like, well,
Practicality. It's practicality. It's just not practical. Yeah.
you're telling me you love your wife. Mm-hmm. You think of her as your equal, but she can't go outside in anything that shows her ankles.
Yeah.
Well, we believe. Well, you believe a bunch of horse shit, dude.
Yeah.
Really just a part of life?
Part
That's my
of a
stance, by
woman's
the way.
life, maybe.
I'm Trevor Thompson. I
But I can remember the good old days when there were all men.
And
in
women
my
should not be allowed on
department.
beaches.
We didn't have these problems.
You didn't
Or-
Get
have
the bitches off the
the
beaches.
output you've got now either. Look, Brad, you've got a new bearing inspector who happens to be a woman. You need someone, and there
Look,
isn't a
Brad.
man available. It
Look,
seems
Brad.
to me
Look, Brad.
that
Are you
whether
going
the
to tell me
gal
you've
ends
never
up in
considered
trouble or
kissing
not
another
is
man?
Pretty much up to you.
Look, Brad, it's not gay. It's not gay if everyone's doing it.
It's only gay if you make eye contact.
It's not gay if it's corn.
What is Brad's trouble?
Oh, we need to get the grammar hammer.
Brad's trouble.
We need to get the grammar hammer out
Homosexuality.
here. That is his trouble.
Yes.
Wait,
There
so
you
did
go.
we ever learn what the fuck they were doing at that, like what that job was? Like, what is that? Was that an oscilloscope that she was
I
operating?
don't know, but the ladies were great at it.
How could you possibly know that?
I could tell. I could
don't
just
think-
tell. I'm a woman.
I agree with
can
her.
sense these things.
Yeah, you're a woman.
I do agree that they were great at
Oh,
it.
dude,
I'm sure
what
it had,
happened to your? Well, okay, I was scared.
I'm sure it had something to do with radiation. It looked like it did.
Or AIDS.
All right. So here we go. House on Haunted Hill. Oh, and so I do feel the need to say this, though. The fun part of this was to watch bad horror movies. I don't consider this a bad horror movie. In fact, this
not.
is one of my favorite horror movies.
It's campy. It's not bad. You know what I mean?
Yes. And also, when people use the word bad, I don't use that term synonymously with unenjoyable. You know? So I think that there can be bad enjoyable, bad unenjoyable. But anyway, I saw Cayley, I saw you squint a little bit. So tell me what your views are on this movie.
So I am a huge fan of William Castle, who directed this movie. He was the king of gimmicks. He was pushing out films, and they were all not great. This
Did you
one
ever see-
included.
Did you ever see my favorite Joe Dante movie, Matinee?
I did, yeah.
So that's who basically John
Right,
Goodman is playing is William
Yes.
Castle.
And
That was my
so-
introduction to William Castle.
William
Mine too.
Castle was an absolute genius. So when he marketed this movie, he created what was called Emergo, which was, a skeleton coming out and flying at the audience. He would do things like offer people insurance policies before they walked into movies so that, they were going to be so scared that they were going to be scared to death. He would make people stand out in galleys where if you were too afraid to watch the movie, you would have to wait outside and everybody could laugh at you because you were so stupid. For the Tingler, he created a thing called Percepto, where
Yeah, that one I know
Percepto,
about. That's a great
your
one.
seat would vibrate.
Vibrate. Yeah.
Thank you. At certain parts of the movie, and actually, that my ultimate dream in my whole life is that I just want to see the Tingler with Percepto. I know that they screened that recently. They've been trying to do it at a couple of places, but I know that the Madison Film Festival has been doing that. They did that last year, I think. And
That's
I
cool.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, I would too.
Same.
But I do think that House on Haunted Hill is it's boring. It's classic, and it's classic for a reason, and I respect the shit out of it. But it wouldn't be as incredible if it wasn't for William Castle.
Or Vincent Price.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
Vincent Price,
Yeah.
But
Boring. You think it's boring?
I think what Cayley's trying to say, or maybe hasn't said yet, is that I think part of what it is like, it's like watching it now without the effects of what you see in the theater is like reading a 3D comic book without the 3D glasses.
Yeah. So I actually recently screened this. I screen movies on Tuesday nights in Rochester, New York, and I screened this and I bought little skeletons, and in the Emergo parts, I literally ran around the room with them because I was like, that's how you have to watch this movie. Like, that's what makes it goofy and fun. And again, I love it. It's a classic. I don't feel as excited about it as I feel about other movies.
Where do you screen them?
I screen them in a bar called Fatty's Beer Company. There's a couple of different Fatty's beer companies, but the one in Rochester.
So they have like a screening room, or how does it work?
Yep. So it's right in the middle of the bar. We put up a screen. There's a big projector, and we turn down the lights, and we all watch movies together. And it's very similar to what you and I are doing tonight. We riff over the movies. We make fun of them. It's a super, super fun time.
I would love to go. I would love to see that.
You got to come.
I've seen you post about it, and I mean that just is so up my alley. I would love to do that.
It's a great time.
I'm gonna miss a bunch of really cool shit that they have here in Atlanta. So, and I'm not. There's not any of it in Sarasota. We have a Sarasota Film Festival, but it sucks. But yeah, man, and I'm gonna miss my video store. We have a video store in this fucking town.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I want to just say that I do love this movie, and I will admit, if you think about how I came across it, maybe I am reliving my first experience with it, and I'm willing to admit that. But when I was a teenager, I was just alone a lot. Both my parents worked. I was a total latchkey kid.
Yeah.
And I remember being somewhere that had cable, because I didn't have cable, because my parents wouldn't pay for it. But I remember being somewhere with cable and just not being able to find anything on TV. And then I saw, I'm pretty sure it was AMC or TCM, had a Vincent Price double feature with House of Wax and House on Haunted Hill. And I just thought to myself, there's nothing else on. And I watched House of Wax, and it blew my mind. And I was just like, wow, I've always been afraid to watch old movies because they looked boring and stupid. I didn't realize old movies could be good. And then I watched House on Haunted Hill, and I was still kind of on this roller coaster of emotion of having my mind blown from House of Wax, that great ending of House of Wax. And I'm willing to admit that maybe this movie isn't that great of a movie, but my experience was that I was like kind of on a sugar rush when I watched it,
Yeah.
Basically, what you're saying is you were skeptical.
Yeah. That's about it. That is true.
From day one.
It's funny, yeah. And then from then on, I have just developed, even with my family to this day, they know that something that just has a direct path to my heart is old monster movies. And that I fell in love with the concept of old monster movies. Then I got exposed to Universal horror movies, and I just wanted to just completely dive into old horror movies. That's why I love Gilbert Gottfried. When he would talk about old horror movies, I always knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I like this dichotomy though of us watching it. I'm a fan. Cayley, I'm not going to say you hate it. Yeah, I'm not going to say you hate it. I'm going to say you're not impressed with it. So Trevor, you tell me what you think of this movie.
I don't remember my thoughts on it because
that's perfect. Actually, that's a great.
Yeah, it was one of those things that was required viewing. Like I remember the first time I watched Citizen Kane was in high school. And so it's possible I missed the point, and I decided I don't remember feeling one way or the other about it, other than to say, look how young Vincent Price looks.
Yeah.
Because I grew up, I'm the oldest of all of us, and I grew up with the first iteration of the Disney Channel, and they had a thing that he hosted called Dear Vincent. And it was literally people, kids would write in and write letters, and it was the sweetest thing, but it was like, he's still that old guy from Thriller, so it was weird.
Yeah.
Any moment he could just freak out. So, I was just that was where my mind must have been, which is look at how young he is there. And that's the same guy from, because Thriller scared me. I remember when it came out. Thriller scared the shit out of me. I don't remember how, maybe it was Muppets, but he had done something that I knew at that young age, but that's all I really remember was being...
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, let's get it started, because I think I love... it's probably not going to be too often that we watch a movie that we've all seen. So, yeah. I wanted to discuss it just a little tiny bit. All right. It's not going to be the entity.
Nothing is the entity.
The entities.
That was the sequel.
Gentlemen, coming to the stage, the funniest woman in the world. Once over with Cayley. One hand against the other is a very good sound.
Coming to the stage.
You heavy breathers, you. Oh, I forgot about this. Wait, aren't you going to play the intro?
Which intro?
The Mystery Science song.
No, I just told you we don't have to because I can edit it.
Okay. I thought Cayley might want to see it.
You played it for her.
Yeah.
That's fine, dude. It's totally different. It looks better now, but never mind. And I remixed it and I reperformed it, but it's fine. Oh, this is the dude with the head in the middle of the shot, right? It's just all surrounded by black, and it's just...
I bet if we keep watching, you'll learn. That's what I tell my sister. My sister always talks in movies.
Well, then we should get her on here and fuck Corndiff.
I know, it's funny. Now I'm sitting here saying it because that's exactly what we're fucking doing. We're talking through movies. But I hate it when...
This is like the opening shot of Contact.
Yeah. I do love that William Castle, he used to start out all of his movies with something like this.
Yeah.
Half the time he would be on the screen being like, you're going to be afraid.
May I introduce myself?
Get ready.
I think the first time I saw that was for The Tingler, and I remember just thinking, what a goddamn genius.
But you see what I mean? His head, just if you're watching this, it doesn't have the same effect as being alone in a theater, not knowing what to expect, and then there's this floating head in the middle of the room. You know what I mean? It's not just on the screen. The whole room is dark except for his head. And it may as well be floating over everyone. You know what I mean?
Well, all the lights are off right now in my house. So just for this.
You're gung-ho is what you're saying.
No, I totally do get it. But,
boo,
I'm
Michael.
Lauren. And I've rented the house on Haunted Hill tonight so that my wife can give a party.
They don't really explain what Haunted Hill is.
They don't need
so
to.
Amusing.
It's Haunted Hill. You don't fucking go there. It's haunted.
He's referring to it as, I've rented the house on Haunted Hill. You know, the Haunted Hill cul-de-sac in Sacramento.
Hours in this house, I'll give you
In
each
sunny
$10,000.
Sacramento, the Haunted Hill.
or your next of
You do-
kin
you
in
do it
case
better.
you don't
There's
survive.
no, like,
Ah,
the
but
house
here
at the
come our other
bottom
guests.
of Haunted Hill knockoff of this.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
I'm sure there's a
It was my
porn parody.
wife's idea to
there is
Haunted
officially
Valley.
now, Cayley. I mean, we need to start fucking put on a pot of coffee and
She's so amusing.
start
Her
taking
sense of
notes.
humor is, shall
What's
we
the porn
say,
parody? House on
original.
Horny Hill?
I dream of the
Gotta be.
It's empty
Gotta
now,
be.
but after a night in the house on Haunted Hill.
And
Who
we have a
knows?
title.
This is Lance
They've already said
Schroeder,
House on Horny Hill like 6
test
times.
pilot. So no doubt a brave
Impressive.
man. But don't you think you can be much braver if you're paid for it?
Don't you
And I
think it could be
happen to
much
know that
braver?
Lance
It's a little bit
needs
of
the $10,000
Hannibal
I'll
Lecter
give
in that.
If he's
Yeah, he was
brave
definitely
enough to
influenced
stay
by
all
Hannibal
night.
Lecter for sure.
Yeah.
This
You're
is
right about that,
Luigi.
Luigi.
You've no
That's
doubt
right,
read
you heard me.
her column.
That's definitely how the timing worked out.
She says her reason for coming to the party
I'm really
is to write
glad
a
that women
feature
don't
article
still
on
do their
ghosts.
eyebrows like that. She looks shocked, but that's just
Yeah.
her plain fucking face right
I mean,
there.
that's how we got Divine. So
Always,
already
yes,
missed one.
yes, always
A man
surprised.
living in mortal fear of a house, and yet he is risking his life to spend
Can I
another
make
night
a
here.
noise?
I wonder why. He says for money.
Hey, that's the
This is
guy
Dr.
from the
David
intro.
Trent,
Oh, this
the
footage.
That's the
I have
floating
fond
head.
memories
My
of this
ghost will
footage.
help his work on
You know,
hysteria.
from before.
But don't you see a little touch of greed there? Around the mouth and eyes.
Darkness falls across the land.
This is Nora Manning.
In the
I
chin.
picked her from the thousands of people who
Hey,
work
it's Liz
for me
Lemon.
because she needed the 10,000 more than most. Supports her whole family.
How old do you think she
She
is
pretty.
in real life right there?
Mid-30s.
She could
Party's
be
starting
anywhere
now.
Yeah.
from 15
And
to
you
45.
have until
I was
midnight
gonna say
to
30.
find the house on Haunted
Like,
Hill.
just right there.
Oh, is that the title of the movie? They haven't said it enough. I didn't know.
You know, it's funny. How hard was it to develop a new font before we had computers?
Pretty fucking hard, actually.
I imagine that it had to be a very difficult job.
Yeah, you had to like be a specialist and go to a school and wear a stupid hat.
That's what makes
I'm
all
just
the
kidding.
old
All
title
hats are
cards-
stupid.
That's what makes all the old title cards so charming.
Would you say that makes all of what?
All the old title cards on movies so charming. Like that's why we like the old.
that's exactly what I'm
that's-
exactly what
yeah,
I'm referring
that's
to.
why this is so. It's so gorgeous. Somebody spent so much time on that bullshit.
Thank you, thing.
Now you can't leave.
Oh, Rob. Are you gonna write this movie?
This is obviously supposed to be ominous in some sort of way, but how so? I don't know.
Well, I mean, can't you hear the music?
I mean, but no, I mean the visual showing the tiles or the bricks.
Well, you know, a lot of men were killed by tiles.
And you know, you can't get away with like a musical intro like this anymore.
I mean, you could if you're Christopher Nolan,
Yeah.
Tarantino.
I feel like this is different. Like they've already spoken, they've had their introductions, and now we're going to take a pause.
Oh, you're not ever
for
getting
credits.
a William Castle style intro ever again for anything.
No, that's what I mean. That's exactly what I just said.
I know, but I said it better with different words.
I do wish that people would still kind of go into the guerrilla gimmick style that he was doing. Like, I feel like the most recent thing that we got on that was kind of big was probably Blair Witch Project. Like the idea of like making that seem real and trying to convince people that it was real.
Oh
I
yeah.
have a Blair
Yeah.
Witch story, by the way. I got to see Blair Witch the way, like the most ideal way you could ever imagine.
Oh boy, in the
Yeah.
woods.
No, that'd be horrible.
Well,
I saw it with a girl I was trying to impress,
God damn it, you win.
and she, at a really scary scene, she like grabbed my arm and said, "I'm scared," and I looked at her and I said, "Me too." I did not impress her.
I mean, you're not married to her to this day?
No, I am not.
That's how it goes, buddy.
Where is everybody?
It isn't a very warm welcome, is it?
Only the ghosts in this house are glad we're here.
Are we all strangers to each other? Don't you two know each other?
I'm afraid I don't even know your name.
I'm Nora Manning.
Lance Schroeder.
I'm a friend of yours.
Don't ever let him see you cry.
I've heard of him, but I've never met him.
I work for one of his
Yeah,
companies.
you're right.
but
She
I've
could be
never seen him.
14 or
I've never
34.
seen him
Yeah,
either.
that is weird.
Just a phone call. Do you know him?
Not biblically.
Well, then you're the only one of us who does.
I don't know him.
What is his name?
All the details about renting the house were done by mail.
He's quite wealthy, isn't he?
Millions.
And 5 wives, I believe.
4, I think, so far.
A $50,000 party for only 5
Yeah.
people is a little steep, even for a millionaire. Well, if I were going to haunt anybody, this would certainly be the house I'd do it in.
Who closed the door?
Who opened it? Why is it open?
It's
Raising
the
a
house
barn?
on Haunted Hill, dummy.
But was it house on Haunted Hill raised in a
Made of
barn?
solid steel.
Well, that just wasn't necessary.
And it was a terrible sound effect.
One of the problems with these public domain movies, and I know with House on Haunted Hill, is that because it's public domain, it has been recut 1,000 times. So
really?
It's actually really hard to get the original sound effects, the original sounds, the
Annabelle.
original scenes with no cut.
Guests are here, and
So you're
So-
saying
still alive.
originally
Is
when
your face on
the chandelier crashed, it sounded like this?
It's way better. So much better.
Water barely
I didn't know that. Oh.
One of the reasons that movie theaters still screen stuff like this is because you can see it in the original 35 millimeter, and you'll get a way better copy of it. You'll get it how it was originally intended to be seen. And a lot of the time, these movies just have gotten cut to shit because of that. So like, somebody edited it, then they released it, and then somebody edited that version, and then they released that version, and then now we get to whatever iteration there is today.
No, you're
I didn't know that, and that does make sense.
I had a reason for
Was this
inviting
like
each
scandalous?
guest.
Is that
I
underwear
wanted
she's
kind of
wearing, or is that an
cross-section.
actual dress?
From sight
Like, was this-
to typist. And
It's hard to
What-
say. The
what's-
fashion back then was definitely challenging.
share
What's
one thing,
scandalous
they
is
all
him
need
trying
money.
to pass as straight.
Now,
Oh,
let's
come
see if
on.
they're brave
He's as
enough.
straight as an arrow.
And you call this a party?
Could be.
Could be one of my kind of parties.
Why do you always do that? It spoils the champagne.
It might explode.
Never
I just love the motion.
Will you guarantee that?
I'm the man who
That
invented
isn't
shake
funny,
weight.
Frederick.
Make a good headline. Playboy kills wife with champagne cork.
That would be a great headline. I'd read the
Will you
shit out of
join
that
me?
article.
With
No, thank
champagne. He hit her over the head with it.
Just a sip might improve your humor.
Gilbert
he's
Gottfried
very
once
fine man.
interviewed Vincent
haven't
Price's
poisoned.
daughter when he had his podcast, and
Oh,
even
good
she
to
was
know
like,
that.
"Yeah, I don't know if my dad was gay. It's definitely a possibility."
He never hit on me, so.
You'll enjoy the party more. Go on.
You want to be my friend, don't you?
Your trust is so touching. And I'm not going to the party.
Of all my wives, you're the least agreeable.
Did she have
Still
a
alive.
mullet sort of thing going on?
Yeah,
A
it
little
is.
bit.
Tax-free.
It's on loan from the Cowardly Lion.
You
Yeah.
want it all, don't you?
It's definitely like a.
That is a hell of a mane, you're right.
It's like a
Jealousy
Florida
isn't
style
tax-free.
mullet too. Like
Jesus.
if she was wearing a
That's
sleeveless shirt.
maddening.
If ever a man had grounds for divorce,
That can't prove them.
the time will come.
The walrus
You'll
said.
slip up one of these days.
Think so?
If I live long enough.
Who are you talking
Remember
to,
the fun we
Vincent?
had when you poisoned
What do
me?
you, the viewers at home, think?
Something you ate, the doctor said.
Yes. Arsenic on the rocks.
A phone number will come up. When
Annabelle. You'd do it again if you thought you could get away with it, wouldn't you?
Darling, what makes you think that?
Something about you.
The fact that you tried to murder me once? That's what. That's why I would say it.
Uncomfortable, in case you get any more ideas. Don't let the ghosts and the ghouls disturb you, darling.
Darling, the only ghoul in the house is you.
Don't sit up all night thinking of
This
ways-
movie's alternate title was actually The Trouble with Men.
Yes, yes.
They're all
very funny, cunt.
Yes.
How dare you disrespect
who brought
me?
the theremin?
I love a thereman.
I've actually been wanting to buy a theremin. I think that'd be a fun segment for my show.
Luigi buys
When
a
I was a
theremin?
kid,
No, theremin time.
Funny thing is, the heads have never.
when I was a kid, we had one, and I learned how to
Oh,
play
really?
it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Can you play the
What
Star
if,
Trek
if I
theme?
bought you one, would you play it on my show?
Yeah,
Carried away by
Can
hysteria.
you do the Star Trek theme?
they're super fun. Yeah, I'm sure that I still
Certainly
could.
went
Yeah.
on. How many people did she kill, Mr. Pritchard?
As long as
Only
you can
two.
keep rhythm, you can play
Her
a
husband and
theremin.
her sister.
That's
No
basically
one else was
how
here.
theremins work.
So there are two loose heads just floating around in here somewhere?
You can hear them at night
I play the
whisper to each
spoons.
other and then cry.
Since our host isn't here, would anyone care to mix me a drink?
Certainly. What will you have?
I am an actor.
Good evening.
I'll have him.
I'm your host, Frederick Lauren. Since we're all strangers to each other, let's get acquainted with a drink, shall we?
Mr. Lauren,
I'll drink to
I
that.
advise you to call this party
Is that like
off
the
now.
third
ghosts are
drink that
already
has been
moving, and that's
offered
a
and-
bad sign.
And
Let me
not
apologize
one
for my wife's joint
has been
figure.
given.
What do you have,
Scotch and.
Doctor?
I'll have the same.
Well, the liquor was here.
Now, before the
Nobody
party
decided to
begins,
serve themselves.
Let's go over the details. The caretakers will leave at midnight, locking us in here until they come back in the morning. Once the door is locked, there's no way out. The windows have bars that a
What's
jail
he
would be
talking
proud
about?
of,
Yeah,
and the only door to the outside locks like a vault.
Person who gives
Oi,
consent
oi.
says what?
No phone, no one within miles, so no way to call for help.
So would you guys do
Like
this?
a coffin.
Are you in the house
Oh, totally.
right now? Yeah.
Oh, totally.
So
There's
if
nothing.
any of you
There's
decide
there's
not
no
to
rule
stay
against
for the party,
napping.
you must
I'd
let
be
me know
asleep.
before midnight. Of course, if you leave, I shan't be able to pay you anything.
I'm interested
shan't.
in your reasons for this party.
I want to kill my wife. Oh wait, I mean I don't want to kill my wife.
Ghosts, Doctor.
Do-over.
I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost.
Whim wonders.
And now my wife has given us all the opportunity to find out.
Amusing. Ghosts, etc., being only creations of hysteria, your party should be a success.
Richard here promises us
Indubitably.
genuine ghosts.
7 now.
Not scared.
Maybe more before morning.
You know my wife's quite the whore.
4 men have been murdered in this house. And 3 women.
I didn't
Planned
do
your
it.
party very well, Mr. Lauren. 4 of us are men, 3 are women. Well, it goes
And
for
one of
everybody.
us doesn't know what we identify as.
Richard, why don't you take us on a tour through
Can
the
someone
house?
do the math for me, please?
Hey, buddy.
Drink up. The poison always floats to the bottom.
See that stain? Blood.
Now see this one?
A young girl was killed here. And whatever got her wasn't human. Don't stand there.
What do you mean? Where?
It'll get you.
It's too late. They
So
marked you.
disgusting.
Ridiculous. The roof probably leaks.
Yes.
Oh, that must be what it is. Who would want to haunt me?
I would say any self-respecting
The
male
roof
ghost.
leaks.
I hope
Blood.
they come back.
Well, Mr. Pritchard, you're the life of the party.
He hasn't even started yet. Wasn't there a man who threw his wife into a wine vat or something?
They all know so much about this house.
There's
Yeah.
How did they all hear
murder
these
every place
stories?
in this house.
Was this all on the internet at the time?
Also, a man threw his wife into a wine vat? That sounds like both a wonderful and horrible way to go.
It's like a strange brew
All this belonged to Mr. Norton.
when they open up the
Who didn't
vat.
die here. He
Oh,
What
man,
does,
I-
what does one say when calling the vat store? Like,
does it fit a woman?
Will it hold wine?
But his wife didn't think it was
What
any
kind
good.
of wine?
So he filled the vat with acid and...
Acid? Can we put acid in this vat, sir?
True story. I am not a wine fan. I just don't get it. I don't like it. It's gross to me.
Grape juice. What's not to get?
And it all tastes the same, no matter what kind of fucking label you put on it. Just my opinion. However, my wife loves wine and insisted we take a wine country tour in California as one of the first things we ever did when we got married. I was bored as fuck. I couldn't have cared less about it. And at one point when they were telling us like the parts of the casket, did you know that the hole on the side for the testing is called the bung hole? And I just started laughing really loud. This whole time, I couldn't have cared less. But then when they said bung hole, I started laughing. And my wife was like, really? That's when you start talking? You're going to say something and make noise now? You haven't been interested this whole time. And I was like, what was I supposed to do? And then at the end, this guy gave us this big tour and said, okay, what did we learn? And I raised my hand and said, the hole on the side's called the bung hole.
That's the one big takeaway.
I love it.
This hole's made for bugging.
My wife was so mad at me, and I was like, hey, there you go. I made an impression, didn't I?
Threw her in. She was supposed to stay down. But the bones came up.
Speaking of bone coming up.
So wait, I missed
everything. None of the murders here were just ordinary.
He's telling a story.
Just shooting.
That was apparently an urban legend or something at the time
They've
that
all
everyone
been
knows.
Sort of wild, violent, and different.
And Vincent Price is saying, ah, shit, you know my plan.
You mean there's still acid in there?
I don't know.
What happened?
Drink it, find out.
I know. Anybody have a chicken bone in their pocket? What was that?
It was a crab.
It looked like a crab.
That is kept under a chair for safekeeping.
Just leaves the bones.
Oh, that's right. They had to show that the fucking...
Right.
That the acid bath exists.
Oh, it was a rat.
Yeah. Okay. Not a crab.
They had a
this
crab
basement's
problem.
got crabs.
Crabs love wine.
I can identify.
Sure, for that upstairs. Come on.
We got wine and crabs.
Let's go upstairs before he gives away my whole plan.
Hey, look, there's a Tom Servo over there.
How'd you get invited to this party?
My agent booked me.
No. Let him go on. I mean, what'd he tell you?
Mr. Lawrence said everybody'd get $10,000.
But he didn't say anything about being locked in.
No.
He just made a deal with me on the phone, but nothing about
$10,000 was a lot.
Yeah, dude. That was life-changing.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
If I don't, I lose $10,000.
I'm going to stay too. $10,000.
Yeah. You believe in ghosts?
You want to be a star, don't you?
I don't know.
Well, I agree with what that doc says. You can spook yourself. I've done it in planes. Seen things that weren't really there. Or were they? What are you going to do with your $10,000? If we get it.
What do you mean if we get it? Won't he pay us if we stay?
Good God.
Ah, sure he will. 10,000 is no more to him than a nickel is to us.
Oh, he said nickel.
We were in an automobile accident. Now I'm the only one in the family who can make any money.
Boy, I've never seen so many doors.
I actually really like this set. I like the wine barrels.
why
I
they're doing all
like
this.
It is pretty cool, yeah.
That's why they're doing all this business. Is they built this set. They're like, we have to show the set. Well,
yeah.
All right, have them walk around when they're in that dialogue spot.
In that big exposition scene,
Yeah,
put them in the room with the
big
doors.
exposition scene. We'll have them do some business where they walk,
Bottles.
stick their noses into places that doesn't belong. Look, we have real wine bottles back there. You gotta open the door. This is, I think Cayley's point about this being a boring movie is starting to.
This is exposition.
Does it go anywhere?
using the word exposition is exactly correct, and that is a big theme with movies of this era, is that we hadn't figured out, we as a society hadn't figured out movie watching yet, but there had to be a lot of exposition. One of the reasons that these things seem hokey to us now is because of that. The reason that this is boring to me is because the scares aren't there. So, like, I am the biggest wuss in the whole world. I get scared from everything. I get scared from Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. I am terrified of that. I can't watch it at nighttime.
Terrified of what?
Simpsons Treehouse of Horror.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm the biggest pussy in the entire fucking world. I get terrified from everything. This is a movie that I can watch at nighttime because it does not scare me ever, because 90% of it is exposition.
But don't you think if you had been in the theater when it happened?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. If seeing something in a theater is a complete diversion from what is happening. And I'm going to just bring this up because I actually screened it last night at my weekly movie screenings. There is a short film that you can watch on Vimeo that is called Dunstan Checks Out. It was screened at the Taco Bell Film Festival.
What's it about?
And it is about 6 minutes long, and it is a guy telling a story about somebody else going to see the movie Dunstan Checks In.
I am 100% in on this. I love that. I love that.
So it's a Mr. Plinkett review?
Yeah. What it really is, what this movie really is, what the short really is it is talking about how important the theater experience is and how much it means to us to be able to see movies together and have this shared experience, and how that feels. And this is the perfect example of that movie.
Cayley.
If I had been in the theater for this and I had been in utter darkness, I would have been terrified.
This is like one of the few Looney Tunes critic moments for me where I was like, I'm going to say this as a animation historian. The reason animation sucks now is because we don't have the experience of watching cartoons in a theater with an audience. If you've ever been in a theater and watched something like from the old days play, and you've heard an entire room full of people laughing, it's cathartic, and so I could go on, but yeah, the theater needs to come back, and George Lucas and Steven Spielberg need to shut the fuck up about stuff like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Said that?
Huh?
Do you remember when they said that? It was a few years ago.
I don't.
Yeah.
Spielberg and old Georgie boy said that the theater going experience will go away in a couple years. And it was like right before COVID, I think. And they were like, "It's good." It's like, it's not good. It's fucking. It's tragic.
Yeah. We still have theaters in Rochester that actually do cartoon screenings all the time, and they'll do daytime screenings, which kids are encouraged to come to, and they will do nighttime screenings, which include all of the Looney Tunes stuff that is no longer okay for kids.
Censored 11.
Yeah. Yep. Correct.
I was going to say,
that could have been the
totally
poster. Look at that picture.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean about not scaring you, and I guess. It is, you bring up a good point in that I have different expectations for movies, and then I'm either disappointed or pleased with it based on an expectation. And with these movies being old, there's nothing that's ever gonna scare me. I just know that, because it's too obviously a movie, and it's hard to suspend disbelief.
It's obviously a movie.
But you know what I mean? Like it's just not gonna when it's trying to scare you, it's not going to. And so there are movies that, have scared me. And this is not, I don't know, just nothing from this era is
The Shining
ever
isn't
going to
one of
scare
them.
me. No, it's not. All right, we ready to get back into this?
Wait, real quick. What is her name?
Frank. I don't know.
Mia. How do Marcellus and her meet? No, that bitch right there. What's her name?
I don't know. Here.
The actress. Never mind. If it's gonna.
She's Mrs. Hill from House on Haunted Hill.
I know what that character's name is. I'm trying to place the actress. I know her from.
It's not. Her name isn't really Mrs. Hill. I was joking.
I know that, but the character isn't the character's name Mrs. Hill.
No,
it's not Mrs. House on Haunted Hill. Esquire.
Let's see. There's Annabelle. Her name is Nora Manning in the movie. Nora Manning. Like Nick Manning. Oh, yeah. Remember Nick Manning?
No.
Dropping loads. You were a Stern fan and you don't remember Nick Manning? He was the porn star who always said dropping loads, and they got him to record
that's his name,
audio.
Nick Manning?
Yeah.
Because I remember that dropping loads.
And Robin went on a date with him.
Yes.
She did?
I do remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right.
Wait, what era was this? On the fucking satellite show? Or
Yeah, it was like 08, 09. Right before she dated Jim Florentine.
Oh, dude, wow, having to follow that.
Yeah.
Or Jim.
Here we go. All right, for continuity's sake. Oh, you know, this part actually, we were just talking about, like, not scaring me. I remember this part actually giving me the creeps when I was a kid.
Yeah.
No, actually, not that one. The other one when she shows up.
The Wizard of Oz scared me when I was a kid. I mean, fucking...
Hey, you want to know something? I've never seen The Wizard of Oz.
You've never seen The Wizard of Oz?
I hate musicals. I've hated musicals since I was a kid.
It's not a musical. It's a fucking American classic, you fag.
Never liked musicals.
Lance is gone, and there's a ghost.
You're gay for not liking musicals.
Come on.
That's what I tell people.
Gone where?
That's what I say on that's what my profile says on Grindr.
You can watch also on Vimeo. There's something called Of Oz the Wizard, which is the Wizard of Oz in alphabetical order.
Yeah,
every word.
It is an autistic nightmare.
It is an autistic nightmare.
Did you ever see that movie that Carrie Fisher did with about the stories that Judy Garland told about? They're all made up, but like the stories about the Munchkins going crazy and like having orgies and shit. And this one.
Oh, with Chevy Chase under the rainbow.
Yeah, over the rainbow. Yeah. You ever see that?
I just learned about it recently. I've never seen it though.
Let's get a bandage on that.
Well, my point in bringing it up was that it's good.
Midgets. Enough said.
I wonder why they didn't kill him.
Oh, speaking of which, all this news, all this like stuff in the news recently about the new Snow White movie.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I cannot get it out of my head, and hopefully you guys will have this too. If I were to when they show the face and the head of the girl who plays Snow White, if I were to tell you she was a midget, would you believe it?
Rachel Ziegler?
Yes. Just look at her head, like not her body, like, you know, like if you were to just see her and think to yourself, could she pass for a midget's head? You know, like the big bulbous Tonka trunk head, the way that Andrew Dice Clay would describe it. I'm telling you, just look at the head. You're going to think, oh my God, she's got a midget's head.
I can't wait to look for that now.
She has hysophallus head or whatever.
I can't even describe it. It's weird, but you know they have the bigger forehead and it's shaped a little differently. Anyway,
it's weird that like the whole thing with Dinklage, kind of spazzed out because he was like only in it because he didn't want to be, seen in a cartoonish light. And then when she went on the rampage on the fucking red carpet and shit, and they had to change a bunch of stuff. Now the dwarves are like actual CG animation now. They're as goofy as ever.
He didn't bump his head. They hit him.
It also kind of bugs me that she was mad about the prince, and it's like the prince. When was the last time you watched Snow White? The prince is such a nothing character. He has like 2 lines of dialogue, and he's in 3 scenes. He's not even a character. Like, you're getting mad about the prince?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Snow White, you fag.
I haven't heard any of that.
When you came in, you
I've
said
just looked at
something
the
about
head.
a ghost.
There was something.
What did it look like?
He just touched it.
It was wearing a black thing that went all the way to the floor.
Weren't you a little frightened at the time?
Well, yes.
That
Oh,
Mr.
does
Laura
he let you hold him upside down?
Yeah.
But then, Doctor, how do you
Love
explain
that.
what happened to
You
Lance?
fucking
Was that
asshole.
hysteria too?
See? I'm not going to drop you. So let me hold you upside down.
Better get that checked.
I'm a doctor, and I diagnose her with being a woman. We can't trust her.
We have to get a fainting couch now. Didn't tell me there were going to be dames here.
Wait for me in the hall.
The ghosts are coming
That
closer,
chandelier's
Mr.
even bigger than the other chandelier.
And closer to the ground.
Before the night's over, you will too.
Would you like a drink, Lance?
No
So,
thanks.
yeah, as a matter of backstory, where did this guy just get so fearful of this house?
Well, it's on Haunted Hill.
He knows
Light
all
of the
about it.
Candelabra.
Anyone who stays all night.
Oh, I think I caught
Certainly.
one of Kaylee's edits that she was talking
Will there be
about
much
with
red
the
tape or delay?
public domain edits.
You in a hurry, dear?
There was like a
Frankly,
weird
yes.
3-second fade out, or 3-frame
Yeah.
fade out there.
There
It's
you are,
interesting, and it's hard to find these movies in their original versions at this point.
There was a lot of nudity they had to cut out.
Yeah, that's got to be it. They were dancing in that wine cellar.
Full
naked.
frontal.
Well, we got nowhere to go.
Got to see that 50s bush.
God.
Someone or something was in here when I came in.
Bluha.
Where? And if the door was locked, how did it get out?
What do you say we
might have
close
been a
this
ghost
door and
door.
lock ourselves
Who
in and
knew
try
it
to
was no
reenact it?
ghost?
I don't know. I was so
I'm a very
scared.
powerful man.
Why is her candle flame so gigantic?
That is weird.
She's overcompensating. Come in.
Sound different to you?
Yes.
No. I'm just a woman. I have inferior ears, dummy.
Ovaltine.
3, 6, 9, 12.
I assume that Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom borrowed all of this for the scene when he finds the secret room.
3.
Oh no, now they're in the opening credits.
Now I'm gonna knock on the other wall. When you hear me, you knock on this wall.
And this is how you do it.
You people try at home.
You make your hand into a fist.
She's not doing it right.
She's going to be the worst weather girl.
You are useless, madam. This part, yeah, that part scared me. I remember it. That one got me. That one I
So see,
scared.
everyone knows that from this now. Like,
I feel like jump scares never got me, even when I was a kid. I need psychological terror.
Yeah.
I need to be fucked with.
I'm gonna edit that.
I need.
That's
I
going to
need
be
my
on your
mind-
grave.
Yeah, I need my mind melting over shit. Like jump scares have never gotten me.
So, are you like a
That's
fan?
why I love The Shining.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of like Silence of the Lambs type of like true
Hell yeah.
horror?
Run it.
I like
Or true crime
Silence
horror?
of the Lambs. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I like Silence of the Lambs a lot, but mostly I like things that fuck with me
You don't
or
believe-
are interesting for some way. So the second movie that terrified the shit out of me was very dumb. It's Jeepers Creepers. And the reason for that is because it terrified me, the concept that somebody could smell me and they could track me by smell.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And
It is a
just
good
that
idea.
concept was enough.
So
to
wait,
scare
you
the shit out of
can
me.
you can sidestep a lot of shit if you just dig the concept.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
That is where we defer.
And that again, that's why the jump scares don't get me, because there's nothing scary about 1 second of my life. If
The problem
if
with-
I'm like, oh my god, I'm scared, and then I'm okay, I didn't die from the jump scare.
See,
then
that's
okay.
I'm not consistent in that way because it's like I'll be fine with it and then I won't. Like it depends on the movie, you know.
Mhm.
And I don't know.
Execution.
I
The
do
execution of it.
wish though that I had, because there's so many movies I got excited for when I heard the concept and then I actually watch it. It's like, well, fuck. I mean, don't do it like that.
There are plenty of movies. There are plenty of movies that don't execute it well, and I will not forgive them for that. But I think Jeepers Creepers executed that concept in a really interesting way.
I think this movie should be executed.
Yeah.
It's funny, I've said this before on the show, but I stand by it, is that I loved the movie The Mothman Prophecies.
Yeah.
Not that it scared me, but the entire time I kept having a visual image in my own head that kept me entertained of a half insect man making prank phone calls. And that's essentially what the movie's about. But it kept my mind going. Yeah.
Well, we talked about it a few weeks ago, the Travis Walton thing, but I mean, literally, it was one of my most memorable theater going experiences. I remember
that's a good one.
Seeing a fire in the sky when I was like 12 or 13 or something like that. And when he gets, fucked with and all that stuff, and I was like clutching my mom's arm and just like, I was terrified.
That's a good scene. That's a good scene. Yeah.
It's worth it for that, that the whole movie is worth it for just that one whole sequence, even if it's not a great movie.
You must be Miss Manning. I realize this is a very unusual and I'm afraid very dull party. Wouldn't you like to freshen up?
How do you like my mullet? Cayley, let's say you're at a boring party and some lady says, "Hey, you want to freshen up? Follow me." What would you do?
That's what women do. I'm expected to go to the bathroom with other women.
That you don't know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, if I meet a girl, if I'm at a club and I meet a girl and she goes, "I'm going to the bathroom," if I don't go with her, I'm considered a weirdo.
Supervisor just came and said I'd been invited.
You don't have to lick her.
I don't belong in this world.
Yeah. It's fucking weird. And then they gossip in there. They go in there and they literally, it's like a girl's being like, "Oh my God, did you see this guy doing this?" It's the stereotype of movies.
What were you doing wandering around by yourself?
Without an escort, you are a woman.
Mr. Schroeder. I just left, that's all.
Courage.
Don't do it again.
What is that?
Don't go anywhere in this house by yourself.
You're the reason that we're suppressed.
Now fix your face and I'll come by for you in a few minutes. But you're in danger. We all are.
Plenty of room at the Hotel California.
I hope for your sake you never find out.
In fact, you're in danger from me. Boo!
That is one hell of a fucking mullet. And there's Mr. Bean.
Oh wait, so that wasn't underwear. That is a dress she's wearing.
It's
I just realized.
Yeah.
I thought it was her like tidying up.
I'm Annabelle Lauren. Were you
I have
looking
a
for
dress
something?
like that.
Not exactly.
Are you the doctor?
No, I'm Lance Schroeder.
The pilot. You've hurt yourself.
Oh, it's just a bump on the head. Which is my...
Wanna fuck?
I believe this is it.
I mean, that's how it always goes, right?
Thank you, Mrs. Lauren.
I'm quite the whore, you know.
Annabelle Lance.
I remember Vincent Price being in more of this.
He's mysterious. Oh. Sit down, I want to tell you about my problems.
You were with the young girl in the cellar. Why was she so upset?
Was she?
And you don't look like the type to go around bumping his head. What really happened, Lance?
Well, Nora
shit,
thought she
what the
saw
hell
a
is that?
ghost, but I didn't see anything.
She was just
You
frightened.
see that, dude?
And mad at me, I think.
What
I
happened?
kidded her about it.
The edit, you mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't joke about anything else that happens here tonight.
Now, don't tell me you're taking all this seriously.
You've been thinking again, haven't you,
Well,
Dane?
I'd like to find out what hit me.
I feel like you're hitting on me.
Always, Luigi.
If I need help,
Love
may
you.
I come?
This has all been a ruse.
Sure, I guess so.
If there's anything to bring us together, it's
Look,
Mystery
what's
Science
going
Theater.
on here anyway? I mean,
Amen.
what is with this party bit?
This is no party, it's
Rocket
planning.
number 9.
Your husband?
I wish I knew what it was.
Who?
Must be pretty big if he's going to lay out 50,000.
The money doesn't mean anything. He has a
Yeah,
reason
if you have a
for
shit
leaving
ton
his
of it.
home in this dreadful old house.
Well, what for? He doesn't even know us.
Who are you looking at, ma'am?
Maybe that's exactly why you're here.
I'm over here.
What can he get away with?
Oh, he thinks that big money like his can get away with anything. You know, of course, that I'm his fourth wife.
It can.
First simply disappeared. The other two died.
Yeah, we've established
Lance,
that. There's this crazy guy who looks like a
don't
midget
want to
downstairs. Or more like an elf.
You mean he,
Oh, his doctor said they died of heart attacks. 2 girls
1 cup.
in their 20s.
Well, what can he do?
My husband is sometimes insane with jealousy. Nothing matters to him then.
He's Italian.
Please be careful.
You've met him? He's a ball of emotion.
He would kill me if he could.
Well,
He has
So long.
He has other qualities.
Well, good night. Oh, got to make sure those are strapped in.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
99, 100.
All the fun. Falling chandelier, the pilot bashed his head in.
Is he badly hurt?
The Saturday
Badly,
Night
no, he did it
Psychiatrist
very
bandaged
well.
him up. Don't you want to go and console him?
I already did.
Yeah, dude, you're late. You're so late, Vince.
So clever, Frederick.
As I lie awake nights wondering why I married you. It was rather a mistake.
You didn't marry me, dear. I married you. Unpleasant, but no mistake.
Hurry up.
Wow.
Frederick, for the last time, I'm not going to your party.
Even
For the
though
last time, it's
I
not my
came to
party,
this
but
house that you
yours.
rented
And you
on
are going.
Haunted
For a party.
on Haunted Hill.
Am not.
You ready, dear?
When did this turn
No.
into Who's Afraid of Virginia
Are you
Woolf?
ready, dear?
Yes, damn you.
You adore me as much as I will prove.
Damn you.
She's into some
All you want to
freaky
be is a
shit.
lovely widow.
Hair pulling.
It's almost time to
That's why she has the mullet.
Point of mullets, yeah.
party
That's
really
why.
begin.
Okay. And then eventually the truth comes out.
I wonder how it'll end.
Are you talking to us? He was looking at us.
Yeah.
Vince, come back, buddy. Are you mad? It's the movie, Vince. Come on.
He doesn't like her, but he married her.
Well, you know, that's how it goes.
That's normal marriage, I feel like.
Close to midnight, Lance. Okay. Be down in a minute.
Well, have a good one.
At the sound of the tone, the time will be.
Who is it?
Your host,
Who it
my
is.
Your host, my dear.
Dave, man.
Midnight, Nora. We're all going to get together down in the living room.
Get
All right,
wicked
Mr.
baked.
Thorne.
Great.
Right then.
Good for you.
Oh, wow. She has the Brady Bunch horse. No.
Is there a...
Oh, that's where they kept that.
Oh, no, it's a terrible mask.
It's going to be used later to no effect in Eyes Wide Shut. This score is kind of Eyes Wide Shutty. You know what I mean? Just like, bing.
I didn't even think about that. I'd like to think this was the inspiration for Eyes Wide Shut.
I would not. I would like to respect Kubrick.
Come on, Eyes Wide
I
Shut.
can't remember who said it, but somebody referred to the movie Society as Eyes Wide Shunt. And I was like, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's great.
That's so funny.
That's fucking great.
Society is such an underrated movie.
That movie rules.
Where's Nora? Miss Manning?
A little late for your cue, huh, Barbara?
I don't want to stay here.
Nora, what happened?
Well, you don't have to.
Jonas
Dun
Lyons
dun
and his wife.
dun dun dun
They've been
dun 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 dun.
I think you got the song wrong.
I'm going to stay here.
I think it's da 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 dun.
Doctor, it looks like we have a real case of hysteria.
I see more of a Herman Munster.
I think she's just a little upset. Not
That's
hysterical.
hysteria.
You know the word hysteria is linked to the word hyster, like hysterectomy, meaning it's just a completely female-based diagnosis.
Hello, my dear. This is my wife.
There are...
Oh, dude,
These are
she
our
lost
guests.
the mullet.
Bruce Bridges, Dr. Trent. You know
I'm
what?
sorry, Cayley,
Bridget,
what were
of
you gonna
course.
say?
Nora
Oh, I was going to
Manning,
say, you
and,
can get Merck
this is
manuals,
Lance
which are
Schroeder.
basically the like doctor's manuals. You can get Merck manuals from the 70s and 80s that still refer to women's periods as being entirely made up and like,
What?
yeah.
Made up?
May I have your
Like,
attention, please?
like, oh,
I think
she's
you
just
all
pretending
remember
like
the
she's
bargain
upset.
We made about staying
sort of
all
thing.
night. $10,000 apiece. If any of you don't
There's-
survive,
There are few. Hold on. There are few medical. There are few medical or anatomical events that actually produce a physical, a physical remnant. And
yeah,
that's odd.
At some point, I'll pull out my Merck manual. I think I have one from 1978. It's pretty fucking crazy.
Oh my!
Pretty much anything that can possibly inflict a woman, even in the 1970s, the doctors' manuals, like the official doctors' manuals, were still saying it's because a woman is making it up.
So it was like,
wow,
tampons were just there to support their.
They were like, well, we know that this one physical thing happens, but nothing else happens with it other than that. Like
so
hormones
they were physically
don't exist.
manifesting. So they believed it so much.
Yeah.
That they were physically. That's, you talk about not being skeptical. I mean,
yeah.
That's wow.
It's bonkers. Yeah.
Debunking the period.
Yeah.
Next episode, Skeptical Robot.
Like, and the weird fucking thing is, they don't actually believe that, because it's like, if you believe that women could manifest blood from their pussy just from thinking some weird shit, you'd never fuck with women.
Yeah.
You'd let them have the fucking.
It would be terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they would be terrifying, but you would give them the run of. They would run shit if you thought that. Mm-hmm. There's no way they actually think that. They're just like, we don't want them in charge. Make up some bullshit.
Yeah.
They're manifesting the period. Whatever.
Yeah.
There's no way they actually thought that. I'm skeptical. See what I did there? It's a show.
Whoa.
In my history of spiritualism.
You have no history of spiritualism. You're a skeptic.
What? No, I just told you. That's the next episode.
Oh.
The next episode is in my editing of the history of spiritualism. There was one person who decided to take on Harry Houdini's challenge, who was a spiritualist psychic who claimed to do stuff. Mm-hmm. And supposedly there was such a competitive world of putting on a show among spiritualists. Hers, I'm going to have to look into it, but I watched a documentary that claimed her name was Marjorie something. I can't remember, but
Marjorie Simpson.
What differentiated her was that she produced items out of her vagina. and Harry Houdini had to debunk her, and the way he had to debunk her, and she agreed to it, was to perform a seance fully naked. Yeah, so
amen.
Yeah, that was one I wanted. That's one I could definitely use your help on, Cayley.
Yeah.
Amongst the rest of you, if I should die
before I wake,
you will be paid by my estate. When the door is locked from the outside by the caretakers, we'll all be forced to stay in this house until morning. If any of you decide not to stay, you must leave with the caretakers now. You won't have a chance to change your minds.
We will point and laugh as you leave.
There'll be no way to get out.
Like a William Castle.
Wait.
Oh, I remember this.
It's the wind. They even made it sound like wind. How dare they do what I asked them to do?
It isn't midnight yet. Who told them they could leave?
They never leave before midnight.
Well, they've gone now.
How would you know? You don't live here.
You wanted to stay or not, but it seems that the caretakers have made the decision for you. We're all locked in now.
But I don't want to stay.
And I'm sorry, my dear, but it's too late now.
Darling, haven't you had enough of the silly game? Get some cars up here for these people and let them go home. But pay them first.
No one asked you to talk.
Party. Remember. In spite of my wife's faith in my ability to do the impossible, we will all have to stay in this house until 8 o'clock in the morning. But we have some party favors for you.
Potty
in these
favors?
little coffins.
Those are all potty. They have turds in there.
They're noisemakers. You blow them like this.
I must say, I think it's rather dangerous. I suppose you all know how to use one of these things, but in case you don't, you just press down on this lever with your thumb and then pull the trigger. You see, they're loaded.
A demonstration of a gun always goes pretty smoothly like
These are
that
no
in a
good
group of
against the
people.
dead, only the living.
Doctor?
Doctor.
Lance?
Just a couple of doctors. Doctors in the hall.
Nora?
Yours has a pink handle.
Go ahead, take it.
Miss Bridges? And here's yours, dear.
I don't need
She shrugged like,
It was your idea.
I had better shit in the war,
Now, she
but
may want to use it on me before this night is over.
Throw these guns away. They won't do you any good.
I agree with Pritchard on that point, although
We
not
all
for the
should
same
be
reason.
drinking more.
Dr. Trent,
Mr. Resner?
don't you approve of our little party favors?
Suppose Nora had had a gun when she mistook the blind woman for a ghost.
This kind of is reminiscent of that
anyone
Ed
else
Wood
is
scene
going to
where the
walk around
cop is
in total
scratching his head with the gun.
Oh, I'm sure we're not going to go running around the house shooting each other, are we?
Like this.
Who knows? Fear makes people do amazing things.
I got a thing to do with the intro. Hang on.
You said your sister-in-law killed a man and a woman here and cut them
I
up.
said a lot of things in the
You said
intro,
they found
lady.
hands and feet, but they never found any heads. Would you like to see one of those heads?
She looked like she was
Would you
about to
all like
laugh.
to see one of those heads?
Yeah, but I'm drunk. Can you bring it down?
Just follow me.
Oh, wait. I've tried to drink my whiskey out of the gun.
Can you just...
Darling, I really don't need this.
Scratch your eyes out. Where did he get the little coffins?
Put that right there.
That's where he
These
keeps
are for
his
9
shoes.
different abortions.
I'd love those for shoes.
What the fuck? I didn't see
It's
what that
gone.
But it was in there.
Of course it was, Nancy.
Nora, I think you're a little upset. Would you
Why
care
don't you
for a
lie down
sedative?
on the fainting couch?
Get out, all of you! All of you, get out of here and leave me alone! Just get out of here!
See? Hysteria. She's inventing another period.
You think it's all right to leave her back?
That woman disease.
I wish she'd taken the sedative.
Well, what do you suppose she thought she saw?
They're closing in on her.
Look, Doc, I think somebody ought to stay with her.
There could be a
Not
million
helping,
people
man.
around her. If they wanted her, they'd get her.
Can you tell us who they
Well, he's
is?
right.
He's too drunk to know what he's talking about.
I wonder. I'll join you in a minute.
We didn't ask you. We didn't invite you.
She was going to be
Think it
there.
would do any good if you
Who's the
went in
bad bitch?
Talk to her?
Well, do you think there really was a head in her suitcase?
Of course not.
There's only 0 ways to find out. Let's just stay and talk about it.
You sort of stay up here, I mean, in case she needs help.
All right. I'll be in my room. Just call it.
Wink.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Why don't you come up and see me sometime?
Well, it's
Are you
just
sure
us.
there are only 7 people in the house?
Positive. Except for the ghosts.
I don't believe in ghosts, nor in frightening women. In Nora's case, it's gone far enough.
You should get
Perhaps too
into it.
far.
That's awesome.
What do you suggest we do about it, Doctor?
Let's
Don't
kiss.
frighten her anymore.
By the way, did you know that this was the same hallway from Full House?
They wish. That's the true house on Haunted Hill.
Yeah. Uncle Joey did it. How did he get that thing on his head? Isn't that like, is that a plot point? What happened?
Somebody hit him and then ran out of the room. They found him on the floor.
Yeah, but why is it important?
Nora?
I don't know.
Kaylee?
I don't. know about
Exposition. Ghosts. Oh, that's why. You're supposed to believe that maybe a ghost gave it to him.
Oh, a ghost. Okay.
Nora?
The ghosts got her.
This feels a lot like. Okay, there you go. This feels. Shemp left his wig.
No, see, it's a wig. Big deal. Shemp left his wig. Now they have to believe me.
I'm surprised they didn't smell it. I mean, it's a fucking severed head, supposedly. It's Arlo Guthrie.
What do you know about this?
They've taken her. In a little while, she'll be one of them.
Oh,
Where's
boy.
them?
He just puts it on the table.
Where is she? It's too late. It's too late. You'll never find her again.
Excuse me, I'm eating here.
Better tell me now.
She's gone. She's gone with them. And there's nothing you can do about it.
So this guy who discouraged them from having guns is arming himself with a knife? That makes sense to
He
anybody?
likes to use his hands.
According to his logic, guns don't work on ghosts, but knives do?
Lay her down.
What do you think, Booger?
Booger is sleepy and bored and hungry. All of the hunger. Nobody ever feeds him. I don't know if you're aware of that about cats, but
Yes.
nobody feeds them.
Every moment is a fight for survival with a cat.
Nora?
Oh, that was sweet.
She's dead, Mr. Lauren.
If you disconnect my camera, you will be in trouble.
Suicide.
Stop playing with things.
The lady with the mullet died.
But the mullet survived.
The mullet went on to live a very happy life.
The mullet was happy and healthy forever. Hey, stop doing that.
Nora.
Why are we whispering?
Because the ghost can hear everything.
Oh, okay. Here, hide in here. Now take your shirt off.
He tried to kill me.
You heard him, Cayley.
He grabbed me and choked me and put me in that room. And then he went away and left me.
Who?
He thought I was dead.
Who?
Is there an owl in here?
Good Lord.
Are you sure about this?
I don't know. It was dark, but it must have been him.
Has anybody seen you since he left you?
I heard some people in that room, but I went by and nobody saw me.
Mrs. Lauren is dead.
AIDS.
The hell you say?
Lauren said she committed suicide. But I think somebody killed her.
Him.
Booger.
This
You're
is our
missing the real
normal-
show, Weege.
This is the our normal playtime, so Booger's going a little crazy.
These
I
are
would
made
love
of
it.
chocolate.
I would love it if my cat respected, like, time of day. It's the thing about cats and rapists. They know what no means, but they don't care.
They don't give a fuck. As I get thwacked
Wouldn't
in
you
the
like to
head by
see-
a tail.
What'd you say?
As I get thwacked in the head by a tail.
Wouldn't you like to see that on a stitched on
Actually, we've come
a
to the same
throw pillow?
conclusion I have.
Yes.
Cats and rapists.
Let's all have a
Basically
meeting,
the
discuss
same.
what to do.
And they,
better
and they
not.
show everybody their asshole.
Don't do that.
Oh, wait. Did I miss him?
Yeah, he invited him to take a bath.
No, the cat. I don't give a shit about the movie.
I had to put him down. He was gonna start unplugging plugs.
First the balls.
Not down. Yeah.
First the balls, now you're putting him down? Jesus, Cayley.
I had to put him off of the desk.
What does playtime really consist of? Jesus, this lady's fucking lethal.
If you have to, you use it.
But I'm taking this one. The hallway's clear. We're playing like that Scooby-Doo game where they show one person going into doors and then coming out a different pair of doors. That young girl is probably disrobing.
This is like a farce without any of the intrigue or suspense.
Yeah.
And it's just people opening rooms and walking into doors, and that's it.
So beautiful.
That mullet.
So greedy. So cold.
I want to get bangs like this bed dressing.
What are you doing in here?
Why were you in here with my dead wife?
What do you mean coming in here?
I didn't want them to take her away.
Drunk.
They will if you don't watch her.
I never understood that in movies. Why would you strangle someone
I'm the only one who
while
understands.
asking
questions? Yeah.
Your wife isn't there anymore. She's already joined them.
Look, Bridget, I've had enough of your spook talk. Get out, you son.
Hey.
Don't come back into this room again.
No more spook talk.
Hey, beat it, Spook. This don't concern you.
Were you a fan of Tales from the Crypt, Trevor?
Are you fucking... Of course.
Remember there was that one about
It's
the
like
ice
you don't know me.
Well, we've never talked about Tales from the Crypt, but I guess I guess I assumed. But there was that one Tales from the Crypt with the ice cream truck, where the guy goes, "I'll make him talk," and then shoots him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I wish I should know the name of that.
It was with Bill Paxton and Michael.
I've got it on DVD.
Where's what's her name?
And Brad Dourif.
Nora.
I think my favorite one
I didn't
was the one with
disturb
Humphrey
her since I don't
Bogart,
think this
but it wasn't
concerns
really Humphrey Bogart.
Oh, really? I didn't know
and
that.
what's
Mr.
her
Lawrence.
name?
Isabella
Isn't there
Rossellini.
some way we
Played,
can get out of this house
played her mom.
No.
Isabella Rossellini.
None at all.
No.
We could try
It was
breaking out.
Isabella
The only door
Rossellini
on
did
the
not play
outside
Isabella
is made of
Rossellini.
steel. The bars of the windows are set in solid stone.
Meanwhile, Cayley's
She was in
totally
that
checked out.
Gotta stay.
I got distracted by Booger. He was being very
I'm not
cute.
afraid of your ghosts, Bridget.
I wish, I know there's no
Listen.
possible way, but I'd love to
I am
watch Tales
afraid.
from the Crypt.
Yeah.
There's no way, dude.
When we came here a few hours
I mean,
ago,
we
the
could
only
probably
thing we had in common was a $10,000
watch it at
ticket.
Cayley's bar.
Now, however,
Yeah.
we share something else.
I had two movies I ran through the copyright thing that got flagged.
So
One
far
was
tonight,
Mazes and Monsters with Tom
One of us
Hanks.
was almost killed by a falling chandelier.
Or three movies.
One of us
The other was
was mysteriously
Amityville
flat.
3D with Meg Ryan,
One of us has been driven to the brink of
and the other is
absolute hysteria,
Ghost Watch. If you've ever heard of Ghost Watch,
and one of us is dead.
I think Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan's most romantic movie
these
is Joe
accidents?
versus the Volcano. You ever seen
Suicide?
that movie, dude?
a long time ago, and I remember loving it.
Dude, it's so great.
What's with the horn? Looks like it's coming off of his pants.
We know what you were thinking.
It will be next.
That's actually the original RCA logo.
How will it happen?
Blow into this.
Let me ask you a question, Doctor.
That was also the
You were
title.
the first one to see my wife there.
Hey.
Did you also see anything that she could have climbed up on?
Bad. You were
and then
being
jumped?
so good this whole
No.
time.
Did any of them? There was nothing. How then did she get up there so high?
Exactly, Mr. Lawrence.
Ghosts.
She
Yeah,
couldn't
really.
have pulled herself up there.
It's
She couldn't drop
haunted
from
hill.
the ceiling. Do you think your wife killed herself?
Might I remind you, we are at the house on Haunted Hill.
She was murdered
Murder.
by one of you.
The house on Murder Hill.
Listen, I would rather be there than here right now with this cat going fucking bonkers. Especially if I was getting $10,000. I'd even take $10,000 in today's money.
Wife. Only you had a motive for murder.
Where did you get that
What
thrill?
husband hasn't at some time wanted to kill his wife? What husband hasn't had 1,000 opportunities to do it in such a way so that he'd never be suspected? I'm not such a fool as to hang my wife from a ceiling by a rope.
The fact remains
What kind
that
of
you
I would
fool?
never do that.
murdered Mrs. Lawrence.
It's a very specific type
That's
of
the matter.
fool.
I know.
So, how do we get the police?
That's my point.
They have a
Good
number.
morning. What began as
Did
a
he
silly
seriously
party
just
given by an
ask how to
eccentric
get police?
Now involved us all in murder.
It's 3 numbers,
Once
Jack.
Pritchard may be right.
Well,
It's
they
on the
didn't have-
phone.
In the works,
They didn't have
let's
911
stop it
back
now.
then.
Another murder.
Yeah, back then
Why
you
not?
used to just call the
Maybe
operator.
one of us saw
1-800-THE-POLICE.
Why should even a millionaire want to give each of us $10,000 to spend one night in a gloomy old house? To
Yeah,
see some
why?
ghosts, have a party?
Well, if you're a
No.
millionaire,
Have you finished trying me, Doctor? And And is the verdict guilty
You gotta
of
do a
murder?
lot of shit to just like
this
feel
isn't
anything.
getting us
anymore.
anywhere. Somebody killed Mrs. Lauren. We know that. One of us is guilty and the rest of us are innocent. Okay. Now what we have to do for the next 6 hours is protect ourselves from
We need to wear condoms.
You really think?
I don't think anything.
Double
I
condoms.
just know that I'm going to my room.
You might want to double back it, son.
I'll shoot him. Or her.
And if we all stay in our rooms, we'll be safe. Because the innocent will have no reason to leave his room. And the guilty will admit his guilt if he or she does.
And we all have guns. And we're all agreed.
Oh, I wish this night were over.
I wish this movie was over.
Rooms?
I wish you were over, you old coon dog.
So, have you guys seen the remake of this?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's terrible.
It's actually
awful.
not better. It's
Yeah.
not better.
This is one of those movies that I think that it could
Wait.
have a really great remake.
Wait. No, I miss. Is this?
Are you thinking of the House of Wax remake?
Yes, with Paris Hilton.
That's better than I thought it was going to be.
You thought it was going to be fucking terrible.
Yeah, I had very low standards going.
And it was only garbage. No, I don't think
I feel like
I've seen the remake.
I feel like
Use of
House on
saying
Haunted
goodnight.
Hill deserves a retreatment in the most fanciful of ways. Like, I think that this could be super fucking awesome if you got the right director on this film. It could
Wes
be really
Anderson
exciting.
should direct
Yes.
The House on Haunted Hill.
There's not enough
remake.
transportation in it for Wes Anderson. How is he gonna have people riding a train in this movie?
Or like the sweet Cat Stevens singing while they're like walking through hallways with flashlights.
If you want to sing out, sing out. And if you want to
You
be
know why
free,
I'm following you. I've been picking up on your what you've been laying down all evening.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, bro. You
Well.
think this mustache twirls itself?
Another night alone.
My dad has that bed.
I'll just have to drink my champagne for one. I hated that class.
Wait, whoa. Where the fuck? Wait, where are we? Who is, what?
I don't know.
Is he in
House
the
on
same
Haunted
room?
Hill.
Oh, they're in different rooms. Okay. Sorry.
Watch this.
Everybody's getting emotionally prepared for the night.
Yeah. This guy's going to light his farts, though. I'm pretty sure that's how this movie goes. Experiment 1.
Fucking spoilers, Weege.
He's just drawing a dick. You know he is.
Oh, it's Harvey the Rabbit. See, did you see that? That like little
line
There's a squeezing
squiggle.
at like the very beginning of the frame. There's like a weird squeezing. I think we've all had a weird squeezing.
Yeah. Thanks, ghosts.
Dude, fuck this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
It's tension.
No, it isn't. How would you know? You hate The Shining.
The Shining just is nonsense.
You're gay.
It doesn't make sense.
It's
There's
okay if you like
nothing
dudes.
There's
It's
nothing
fine.
congruous. There's no consistency. What
would you know about
It's somehow an anthology of so many different stories with the most conventional, we ran out of paper for the typewriter ending. The roofs in this place are terrible.
She loves that stain.
Out, damn spot.
Yep, it's still a gun. My gun's made out of chocolate.
It's me, Lance.
That's where she was safe, holding onto that bedpost.
You okay? They've all gone to their rooms and locked themselves in.
Lance, I've been thinking. It was so dark down there. Maybe it wasn't Mr. Lorne.
It was him, all
Oh,
right.
now you're going to change your mind?
And he did kill his wife.
So, wait, I have a question.
How can you be so sure?
Did he just like leave the head on that table?
Yeah, he did. And
in
walked
theory,
away.
Just hanging out now.
It's just gathering maggots in a room somewhere.
Without taking a single bite out of it.
Okay.
The doc thinks he's going to try and kill one of us. Now, there must be a way out of this place, and I'm going to find it and get the police before he does.
I'm going with you.
What if he finds out you're alive? No, Nora. You're safer here than any place else. Now just lock yourself in and keep quiet.
Hide under your bed.
That elongates my forehead.
If I find a way out, I'll come back and get you.
If I find
That's
a way.
what Houdini said to his wife before he died.
My hero.
Yeah, right. I love a man who locks me in a room to keep me safe. This is before the advent of the panic room.
There was a sign that said scary part of hallway and an arrow. Instinctually, I want to just go around feeling doors when I'm scared, or feeling walls when I'm scared.
And go into it.
And then he falls.
You didn't let me grab my hat. I wanted to pull off an Indiana Jones move.
Get away from the chandelier.
Mm-hmm. How did people waste time?
You're looking at it.
Back then. Well, might as well flick my bean.
They didn't have
That's
have phones.
what it was.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's still bean flicking going on. Oh, there you go.
Very phallic.
That's some oh no, are they gonna do that scene from the Evil Dead where they got their pussy?
Okay, so this is a part of the movie that once we do learn the ending, this is not explained how this happened.
Is that stop motion or reverse photography?
I don't know.
I think it's stop motion, but I'm very bad at identifying things like that, so I might be wrong.
I think when it came in through the window, it was reverse, and then when it went around her legs, it was stop motion.
Yeah, maybe.
Now, also, another thing that doesn't get explained is how is she outside of the house doing that?
What? It's not going to drag her. Well, I guess I didn't have the effects for that, but what the fuck? They're just letting her go?
It just wanted to tickle and caress her.
I don't remember anything from this fucking movie. I'm starting to think that this might be the first time I've seen it, and I'm like just...
You know, sometimes you miss the classics. It's entirely possible.
No.
Just start shooting, lady.
Nothing else to do.
You're bound to hit it.
I mean, I have had that happen before, where I'm watching a movie and I'm like, oh, I've fucking seen this before. Like, I watched a movie thinking I hadn't seen it, and I realized I had.
I absolutely have that happen to me all the time.
All right, it's not a competition. Because if it was, I'd lose.
That was a swamp creature hand.
Oh, the candles are gone. Fucking continuity.
Boo!
Yeah, see, it's not effective.
I could go it louder.
Wouldn't have helped. I mean, if you saw that fucking shitty It movie, you know, like the movie of jump scares.
This needs yakety
loud
sax.
banging noises over and over again. It's just like, oh god, we're scared.
Craft.
And you know what? I got a good monster sound for you. I thought I heard a deadbeat. Dude, did Doors contribute money to the fucking film? Why are there so many doors opening
The
and
Door
closing?
Foundation of America was a big contributor.
Jesus.
Aha! I win.
If you cut out all the people walking down a hallway,
There's
of this
10
movie,
seconds of movie.
there's 15 minutes movie.
That's what you need to do, the door cut.
That might happen.
Organ music. That.
Or just just the dialogue. We should make just the dialogue of the movie, and it's like 6 minutes long.
Ready?
There's
mine's bigger, huh?
And I'll look up here.
Why not together?
There may be only minutes, seconds left of someone's
Let's
life.
just touch
They
the
are
tips
going
and
to
see what
sleep
happens.
together. I'm going to tell you right now.
Let's just touch tips and see what happens.
Oh, I know this game.
Yeah, one of them's gonna see Slimer, and the other one's gonna be like, "What? I only heard it." He slimed me, and then it's like he means come.
Sir, I looked up that procedure you suggested. It's called docking.
You want me to look up locker boxing too?
I don't know what that one is. Don't tell me. I'm not interested.
You don't want to know. You don't want it in your search history. Chad Daniels does a whole bit about it though, involving his son. Sleeping Beauty.
It's almost over, darling.
She's asleep. She can't hear you.
Every detail was perfect.
Keep your eyes closed. Tell me if you know what this taste is.
Heaving chest.
Wait a minute.
He was
You
gonna
really
put her-
were alive?
He was going to put her hand in warm water.
We've done it. A perfect crime. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Has she killed him?
Who?
Not yet. But she will.
Get me out of this hanging harness.
I even did the
Taking that girl
the
from
swamp
all
monster
time.
hand.
At first, I couldn't get Nora to want to protect herself with a gun. But after you appeared at the window, everything began to work just as we had planned. You were wonderful. Just the touch that finally drove her into complete hysteria.
It'll be worth all of our planning, darling. Where's Nora now? What's happening?
On her way to the cellar. So scared she'll shoot the first thing that moves.
And Frederick?
On his way to the cellar, too.
David, are you sure none of them will suspect us?
Of what? An hysterical girl
What a
accidentally
slut.
shoots somebody?
I
Who would
know.
suspect that we planned it that way?
Look
that
at
we
that
drove
mullet.
into it?
What about my suicide?
But just a ghost party gag.
What about my
We'll
mullet?
claim it was a dummy since I'm the only one who touched
She
it.
said, "What about her
Caretakers.
suicide?"
But they had no idea what they were really doing.
Can you look at me
What
when I
about
talk
Nora?
to you,
She's not
please?
stupid, you know.
Darling, believe
My
me, everything
eyes
we
are
planned
here.
is working perfectly. Nora is sure Frederick murdered you. She thinks Frederick attacked her in the cellar, not me.
He's also
Now
a
Nora's
flat
almost out of her
earther. You
mind
can't
with
explain
fear.
anything to
The
him.
heads, the music, you're hanging. I tell you, when Frederick walks in there, she'll shoot him.
It's taking too long.
You're right
David,
about
you want
that.
to be there.
Take me. You beautiful man.
Weege, we're recording now, dude.
Well, let's go sleep on our separate twin beds.
Down to the cellar.
My bed's a race car.
Oh, I sleep in a race car. I can't do impressions.
Dude,
Ignore me.
That was pretty good, though. That was good.
Your bed is a car. Yeah, but it's a sweet car.
I sleep in a... Where do you sleep in your car? No, I sleep in a big bed with my wife.
So do I.
One of my favorite lines from that episode, Cayley, he says, we here at the Cracker Factory, we don't know if single people eat crackers, and frankly, we don't want to know.
We don't want to know, yeah.
I love that line.
It's a fucking good one.
Oh, and frankly, we don't want to know. So if she's afraid, why is she going out? If she's afraid to be alone, why is she going out seeking out these very solitary places? That doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think you figure out why this movie sucks.
There's a trumpet when he enters.
No!
Yes.
Oh!
Right in the heart. That's my favorite heart. That's what I sound like when I sit on my balls.
When you pull a Mr. Belvedere, or is it just called a Belvedere?
Wesley, come and get my balls out of my thigh gap.
So it doesn't seem weird to anyone that there is still a big vat full of acid in the basement. Like, no one thought to get rid of it. Just
dude, there's a head on a table upstairs.
That's true. That's true. But it's obviously a fake head.
No one is. There are no ships sailing in the consistent sea.
Wait a minute, the lights went out.
It's a William Castle picture, folks. Who done it?
Bum, 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 bum. Does anyone remember The Haunting? That really shitty remake, I guess you'd call it a remake, that came out like in circa 2000 with Owen Wilson and Liam Neeson about the haunted house. Does anybody remember that one?
I vaguely.
I remember it.
I saw it.
I remember it's supposed to be a remake, but I don't know what it's a remake of. Was that a William Castle movie also?
David?
I don't know. Okay. All right.
David?
I'm blinking.
Yeah, I am too. Okay. All right. This is what we have built up for. This is the final momentous scene of the movie.
Emergo.
And somehow in the 1950s,
don't talk over it, dude.
They were able to have remote control doors. It's gonna happen.
Is this one of those? It was the fear was inside us all along.
Yeah.
I'm just killing what I can't keep, and then she jumps in.
See the string attached to his hand.
I love how that looks. I still love how that looks.
I do too.
I know it's cheesy as fuck, but I love it.
Everything I have, even my life.
So that's Vincent
You're
Price?
not going to live to enjoy it. Come with me, murderess. Come with
Tag,
me.
you're it. Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's a walking skeleton. Who wouldn't be scared of this?
It's a marionette, but it's... Oh, dude, that's like Shout Factory's logo right there.
I'm gonna get ya! How did the marionette have the force to push her?
She was very fragile in that moment. Even a slight wind could have knocked her into the vat of acid.
Thanks for watching, folks.
Albatross. Oh, he's the marionette operator. Look at all those strings. There's some good fishing in these parts.
Say hello, Sammy. Hello, Sammy. We're going to do our act.
So it actually was supposed to be strings?
Good night, Annabelle.
Good night, Annabelle.
The crime you two planned was indeed perfect. Only the victim is alive and the murderers are not. It's a pity you didn't know when you started your game of murder.
Game
that I was playing too.
Murder.
Dude, I love Vincent Price.
I do too. I love this.
I don't know if I like this, but I love Vincent Price.
I've shot Mr. Lauren. He's down in the wine cellar.
Cut back to Vincent Price. Come on, movie. We had a deal.
Why are you always crying? Stop crying all the time, lady. I didn't see anything. What'd you see?
Him, he's alive.
What? kill wife. Never.
You didn't shoot anyone, my dear. I loaded your gun with blanks.
I've been shooting blanks this whole time. My wife knows all about that.
To kill me. They failed.
I've made you all accessories to murder.
My wife stumbled and fell.
I would love to make accessories for that, but
innocent or
can't make a "my wife fell in a vat of acid" apron for just anyone.
What an explanation! They were all trying to kill me. They were plotting this very elaborate plan. But she's clumsy and she fell and hit her head.
She fell. Why don't we close the vat of acid?
No, that's what I was saying earlier.
Maybe more, many more.
Nobody seems to be interested in this vat of acid.
They're coming for me now.
But what's the practical reason to have? Okay.
And then they'll come for you.
Blah, 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 blah.
I will say this is definitely the kind of movie that Sam Raimi saw and was like, dude, let's go.
You see, it's wonderful. It is a great movie. A little slow. I will give it, I'll concede on that. But yes, it's just such a good movie. And there you have it, folks. Thank you so much for sticking through one of my personal favorite movies. That's 1,000 times better than The Shining. Right, Trevor?
You are gay.
Let me remove this, and I will let you guys plug anything you want. Trevor, please. Plug away.
Just see, Clay Duty. Dummy and Duty. That's what it's called, right? Dummy and Duty.
Oh, I heard a little hint. There might be another episode coming up.
Yes, that was something that was hinted at by Shuley before he knew when I was leaving for Florida. Some of that shit that Zen was saying when he was here, he's like, "Oh, we were writing some stuff for Duty. You'll probably see that. You'll probably see that then."
Very cool. Your kitten's asleep, and it's very sweet.
Yeah, and also Dabble House. Go to what's the address to get tickets, Cayley?
Dabblecon. Live.
Dabblecon.live. That's what it is. It's
I'll try to fill it in.
I should know these things, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good thing I was going to plug that next and also fumble that. So
So I'm just going to fumble it over to you now. And you can find me on YouTube, the Looney Tunes Critic.
All right. Now, Miss Cayley, you are, without a doubt, the more important guest.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
So, please.
I like The Shining also, so you can stop trying to butter me up. I'm on Trevor's side for that.
We need to have a point.
Dude,
point
it's fine.
Counterpoint.
No. You're allowed to not like it. You just need to understand that there are.
I need to convince you to why I'm right. Is what I need to do.
That's never going to happen.
Yeah, it's never going to happen.
You need to accept the fact that there are 3 people on the show, and 2 of them have great taste, and the other one is you.
Yep.
And anyway, sorry, I'm getting on.
I don't disagree with that. Well, I will just say I have tons of exciting stuff coming up. I have a Dabble House, of course. I have Hackamania coming up where I will be on stage with Who Are These Podcasts, as well as Dr. Steve from Weird Medicine on his final ever Weird Medicine episode. In addition to that, you can always find me on Once Over with Cayley, Cayley, for movie reviews, and also on Murder Game Podcast, which is very exciting and a new fun thing that I'm doing. You can check that out on YouTube, on Spotify, hopefully on the other streaming services by the time that this is in the universe.
Did you say that the Dr. Steve show was the last Weird Medicine?
Yeah, it's going to be the last ever Weird Medicine.
Why is he stopping?
Because he hates all of us.
I don't know. Of it.
No,
Why would he ever stop?
He's been doing it for so long. He is one of the busiest, most incredible guys that I've ever met in my life. So I'm sure he has lots and lots of good reasons.
He's good.
He has committed to coming on Skeptical Robot a total of like 12 times. And every time that I think to myself that I'm going to say, hey, you said you're going to come on, I think, he is out doing good things in the world. He might be the only person I know doing good things in the world. Hey, why don't I cut him some slack? And I think to myself, you know what? I'm not going to take this personally. He's doing good things in the world. Yeah. That's the kind of person he is. And
he's outstanding.
Yeah, and there needs to be more Dr. Steves. All right. Yes, and we did an episode of Murder Game. Murder Game was so much fun. It really was great. I'm looking forward to hearing how I come off on that one. And also, hopefully I'll get this out soon. And also, we did The Entity with Corndiff, and I had so much fun, and listening to it back, I don't know. It was almost kind of surreal that I was a part of that conversation because it sounded above my intelligence level. It was so, I enjoyed us talking about that because we did it on just such a level of talking about it as art. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot. That was really good.
You know, I think one of the most beautiful things about us movie lovers is that when we love talking about something, it becomes another part of the ether, and we almost forget how wonderful it is. And I feel like that's the joy of talking about movies, and that's the joy of watching movies, and that is what makes this show so incredible, is that we get to talk about movies and watch movies all together. I love it.
Hopefully the next movie will be something that we can all enjoy. Y'all looked a little bored for this one.
The Courtship of Eddie's Father?
Yes. We need to find something that's just not going to get struck is really what we need to find. That's the criteria, and I am striking out so far with some of the things I wanted to watch. So if y'all have any suggestions, please.
You could probably watch Song of the South.
Probably
that'll get struck for a different reason.
Probably.
Well, I don't know how. Maybe did we do it because
Cardiff watched that.
I was going to say I was on Vinny and Cardiff's show watching it. Did they do it on on Rumble?
I think they did. Yeah.
Okay. That's.
I think the next one, the one I had planned next was going to be Glenn or Glenda.
Yay!
If y'all want to watch that one. All right. Okay.
That's a good one.
All right, folks. Thank you so much. Bye for now.